Disclaimer. All events, people, and some places in this video are fictitious. In other words, I made this shit up. None of this really happened. It is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Hawaii. A tropical island paradise with one of the lowest murder rates in the country. But even in the most perfect places, evil finds a way to manifest itself. Hello, beautiful people of the internet, and welcome to They Make Monsters, where we tell the true crime stories the media is too afraid to. Today, we'll be looking at the blue-ringed killer. Before we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with someone a little too into marine biology. Anyway, let's get into it. Bradley Monroe was 52 and the CFO of a local resort company in Wailuku, Hawaii. He made over $340K a year and had helped his company gross $500,000 in profit. However, Bradley had a dark side. Bradley lived alone in his small beachside villa, but he was rarely seen alone. Bradley had a certain reputation in the community for picking up girls around 18 to 19, just skimming the line of what was legal. But Bradley was very careful not to cross that line, as it would mean huge losses for the company. Until it all came crashing down. On the evening of October 20th, 2010, one of Bradley's dates would come to his house to find him dead on the floor. Bradley was mostly healthy and in good shape, so it was unlikely he died from natural causes. Investigators rushed to the scene of the crime to search for evidence, but to no avail. It seemed that the killer didn't leave a trace. However, all of Bradley's credit cards and his cash were stolen. Upon investigation of the body, it appeared that Bradley had died from tetrodotoxin poisoning. Tetrodotoxin is a neurotoxin more deadly than cyanide. It's found in many animal species such as sunfish, triggerfish, some snails, octopi, cuttlefish, some species of starfish, but most notably, pufferfish. And it just so happens that nearby there was a restaurant known for serving bad pufferfish. A few minutes away from Bradley's home was Three Rings, an upscale Japanese restaurant. Three Rings was known for serving fugu, a luxury Japanese dish containing pufferfish, which, if prepared incorrectly, can kill a person. The owner and head chef, Iwane Shimomura, had gotten into trouble because of his fugu before. Iwane had multiple lawsuits against him for injuries and deaths from his fugu. Police suspected that Iwane intentionally poisoned Bradley to steal his money. But, if that was the case, where was the money now? Police didn't have enough evidence to arrest Iwane, so they tried to catch him by following the money. It appears that after Bradley's death, money from his account was emptied using an ATM near Iwane's house, indicating that he had stolen Bradley's money and tried to cover it up by taking it out in cash. With this new evidence, police obtained a warrant to search Three Rings and Iwane's house. But as the investigation continues, another victim is found. Kaleo Puka was a manager at Maui Ocean Center, a nearby aquarium. He was described by his employees as arrogant, inconsiderate, and disrespectful. One of the animal keepers, Blue Oswald, who asked to remain anonymous, said, quote, "He was a real douchebag. He cares more about the profits than the animals or his employees. He's dumb, too. I really doubt he can tell the difference between a fish and a sandal. But you're not gonna tell him I said that, though, right?" It would appear that most people who encountered Kaleo immediately disliked him, possibly giving them motive to kill him. And on June 19th, 2011, Kaleo was found dead in his apartment. Like the other victims, Kaleo had died from tetrodotoxin poisoning, his credit cards had been stolen, and he had recently eaten at 3 Rings. Given that both victims ate at 3 Rings and died from tetrodotoxin, all fingers now pointed to Iwane. Police launched a search on 3 Rings as well as Iwane's house, but police found no evidence linking Iwane to the crime, and there was no trace of the stolen money. When the investigation began, Iwane seemed confused and defensive, maintaining that he was innocent, and saying, quote, "I didn't kill nobody. Well, on purpose. But I ain't no murderer. I didn't even know there was murder happening. All I been doing is running my restaurant. I don't even have time to kill nobody." Police let Iwane off the hook for now, but remained skeptical. Until more evidence was found, the case would remain unsolved. Cheryl Clayton was visiting Wailuku on a family vacation from Greenwich, Connecticut. Cheryl was known by her colleagues to be obnoxious, self-centered, and a known litterer. Her and her family were supposed to stay for a week, but Cheryl's stay would turn out to be much longer. On the morning of December 15th, 2010, Cheryl was found by her family, dead. Cheryl had also died from tetrodotoxin poisoning, and again, the killer left no trace other than a stolen credit card. Cheryl had also been to 3 Rings, but had not eaten the fugu. Cameras in the restaurant show that Cheryl ordered the fugu, then told staff she hadn't ordered it, then made them send it back, and gave 3 Rings a 1-star review on Yelp. So, Iwane could now officially be ruled out as a suspect. But that would mean the case would remain unsolved. 5 more victims were found before police got any more evidence. But then, on May 27, 2016, 6 years after the first murder, police would make a breakthrough. Jonathan, or Jimmy, Davidson Williams, was a retailer at a local hardware store. Jimmy spent most of his time on Facebook ranting about real men and immigrants. Jimmy was an avid Trump supporter and had several signs and flags praising the ex-president all over his house and lawn. Jimmy was generally disliked among the community. But on May 27, 2016, he was found dead in his house. Like the other victims, Jimmy died of tetrodotoxin poisoning, and his credit card was stolen. But this time, the killer left a footprint on Jimmy's lawn. It wasn't much, but at least now, police had some substantial evidence to try and catch the killer. 6 more victims would pass before police got any more leads with the attempted murder of Adam Sharp, an extremely wealthy tourist from New York. He was in Wailuku for a vacation with his other colleagues, most of whom used this opportunity to cheat on their partners. Adam was renting a beach house to himself, making him an easy target. And on December 9, 2018, the killer struck again. Luckily, an exotic male dancer Adam had hired, named Kiyoki Akana, walked in on the killer in the act. Kiyoki called the authorities, who immediately started a chase for the killer. According to Kiyoki, the killer wore a full hazmat suit and had an octopus with bright blue rings. The killer threw the octopus onto Adam, and he fell to the ground. Adam was immediately brought to the hospital, and eventually made a full recovery. But now, the chase was on to catch this blue-ringed killer and their octopus. Police were able to follow the blue-ringed killer back to their house via CCTV footage, but they were shocked at what they found. Police found that the house belonged to no other than Blue Oswald, the aquarium employee from earlier. When police searched their house, they found all the stolen money. They also found that Blue had a dedicated room in their house with several tanks for blue-ringed octopi. The blue-ringed octopus's venom contains enough tetrodotoxin to theoretically kill 26 adult humans within minutes. Blue-ringed octopi are also relatively cheap to buy on the internet. Not that Blue had to worry about that, though, seeing as they used the stolen money to pay for the octopi and all the equipment to take care of them. So, with all this evidence, police arrested Blue. With some more digging, police discovered that Blue was a dedicated marine biologist. In fact, despite using them as murder weapons, the octopi were quite well cared for, and even had names, such as Blueberry, Blue's Clues, Blooney Tunes, Blueonce, and Bobby. Blue referred to them and their octopi as the Blue Crew in their notes app, which they also used to plot their murders. Blue had trained the octopi to pick locks, and then Blue would clean up the slime left behind, making a perfect, clean murder. Police estimate that Blue killed up to 30 people by sneaking into their homes and letting one of their octopi bite their victims. However, due to some sloppy mistakes in later cases, Blue was finally caught. Blue's trial was supposed to be in 2020, but due to unforeseen circumstances, their trial will now be held on October 8th, 2025. They are being charged with 15 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 16 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 16 counts of breaking and entering, and 25 counts of illegal possession of an animal. Blue plans to plead innocent for all charges. The blue-ringed octopi were donated to the aquarium. Upon hearing the news, Iwane Shimomura had this to say, quote, "I told y'all it wasn't me. It was my weird neighbor. I knew something was up with that one." And thus ends the case of the blue-ringed killer. Comment down below what animal you would throw at someone to kill them. Best comments will be shown to my dad, so make him proud. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and always remember, don't mess with marine biologists. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.